Hi. I'm not gonna lie, this is the second take. Um, First, my hair is kind of greasy right now because it's hair wash day, but I'm taking a shower in a few hours, so it's fine. Also, it was kind of boring the first one I took, and I know my first video was also kind of boring because I was nervous, and as much as I want to do these videos, I also don't want to lose what little humor I have. So, also redoing it to add a little bit more of my natural humor because it was really boring. I didn't even finish watching it. But today is a Sunday, April 13th. Um, Also the first official weekend that I did not have my second job, which I was talking about in my last video. Um, which I did nothing all weekend, which is kind of nice. I needed it, obviously, because Friday I slept 16 hours. Last night I slept about 10 hours. I have no clue what time I'm going to go to bed tonight, so we'll see. Um, but I obviously got the rest that I needed slash wanted. Also, at the same time, I think I was definitely thinking way too much. At least I didn't spiral this time, which is a win in my book. Um, but yeah, I was just thinking all weekend about well, because it didn't really hit me how much time, like, it didn't hit me that I have extra time, but at the same time it did. Like, it didn't really feel much different than the last couple weekends, which low key I should have expected. But I was just thinking about all of the hobbies and all the habits that I want to be doing. Ugh, how do I want to put this? Because I had a lot of thoughts this week, and some of them not so good. Some of them were kind of bad. Some of them were good. But it was mostly just filled of like things that how I want my future to look like. I guess. Um, I guess quitting my job really made me like, let's change things, Sydney, which I think is a good thing. I think the fact that I feel uncomfortable with how my life is currently is a good thing. It shows that I am willing to change, that I'm wanting to change, that I'm wanting to improve myself. So we're taking all this as a good sign. But I was, again, just thinking about all the things that I want to be doing, habits that I want to implement to make improvements, and then hobbies that I want to do to learn more about myself because I also kind of realized that I don't really know myself all that well. When you've only been a couple years ago when I was in school, I was only in school and working. Some of the moments in school, I had two jobs on top of school, so I was literally just super busy. And then when I was done school, I was working two jobs. So it's kind of, I don't really, right now, who I am is work, and I want to change that. Um, so yeah, those were just things that I was thinking about, and then I eventually made a cute little list of things that I want to do. Um, so I'm making this video to kind of hold myself accountable to those things. Habits. Well, so I'll just jump right into it. Some of the habits that I want to do is one, wake up earlier. I feel like a lot of things can happen when I wake up. For me, wow, I can't speak. Waking up early, I feel like it's going to be a domino effect. If I wake up earlier, there's more things that I can do. One, because right now I live very, like, I do the bare minimum right now. So it's like if I wake up earlier, I could put more effort into my like appearance. I could put more effort into my like I can actually think about what I want to wear instead of just putting on the first thing that I see. Um, don't wear makeup all that often to my job because it's one a small company, so it's not like I'm dressing up for anyone. But I can at least put on makeup to make me feel a little bit more presentable. Because sometimes people do, like, we do get visitors to the office, and I'm literally in there wearing a hoodie and I look tired. So if I wake up earlier, I can give myself more time to like put effort into my appearance. Some. Ooh, I also want to pick up a better skincare routine. Right now, I have a very like basic one, so I want to just do a little bit better with that, a little bit more effort into it. I mean, right now my hair face is kind of breaking out, but you can't tell because my camera's bad quality. But if I do ever get a better camera, I hope my skin is or is doing what it needs to be doing. I also want to develop a hair care routine. I'm kind of looking out in the hair department right now because I don't put any heat. I don't really style my hair with heat. One, I don't really be styling my hair at all, which I used to, and I need to get back into that. But I don't use heat, so I feel like that's the only reason why my hair is decently is like unhealthy. It's actually quite healthy, but it's like it can be better, and I'm ready for it to be better. I want to be that girl that everyone's jealous of with the hair, you know? Like, oh, like her outfit's not that great, but like her hair is on point, and that's all that matters. No, I kind of want my clothes to be on point too, but that's gonna take a little bit while because clothes are expensive. We're working on it. We're working on our sense of style, okay? Just give me some time, right? Give me some time. Um, yeah, that's a habit that I want to get into. Like maybe like once a week, do like a hair mask or something, and then um, but those are kind of just like physically self-improvement habits that I want to do. I know waking up earlier has a bunch of like mental benefits as long as I get enough sleep. I do need to prioritize sleep sometimes. Lately, I've been doing good about it. Ooh, I could easily fall back into a bad habit of sleep. I used to go to sleep at like 3 a.m. sometimes. So bad. But yeah, I'm trying to keep these lists minimal so they're not as intimidating to start and do. If I just give my, wow, if I just give myself a few things to do, I will more likely actually go out and do it. So that's kind of where I'm drawing the line at habits for now. There's plenty more I can probably think of, but that's the line for now. We'll check back in a couple months. As for hobbies, I kind of have a decently long list, but I am telling myself to not add anything else to it until I at least start some of this stuff. Because I'm low-key finding out that hobbies, list of hobbies that you can have and do is endless, in all honesty. So that's kind of, I have a thing of like 10-ish. I don't feel like counting, but it's about 10-ish right now. So I'll stick to that. And we can always add more and take out some later because just because I have a list of hobbies that I want to try now doesn't mean I'm actually going to like them when I do them. Um, I think my most important ones that are a want slash need, cooking and working out. One I'm putting those under hobbies because like it's not so I don't feel pressured to do it, but these could easily become habits once I get going on it because it's also a necessity to survive. I used to be really good about working out like 8-ish months ago, but then I gave up for some reason. Oh, I gave up when the new year happened because I knew it was going to, one, the gym that I go to is already pretty crowded. It was crowded back in December, and I was like, bro, it's December. No one's supposed to be working out right now. And then, obviously, when the new year hits, everyone's going to be going. Everyone and their mom is there. So I stopped going, and then I haven't gone since. It's pretty April, so I need to get back into it right now. But I was actually pretty consistent with it. I was going like 4 or 5 days a week. I don't do super hard workouts if I'm being honest because I'm not as much as I was going consistently, I'm not super good at working out. Um, but showing up is better than nothing. So I need to get back into it. Get there. Cooking. Half the reason why I don't cook is because one, I never really learned. I'm really good at following instructions, so I like can learn to cook, and I have learned to cook a little bit. I'm not saying I'm become master chef, you know, but I do. I've been going out to eat so much recently. It's so bad. Um, but I also, it's the grocery shopping that's hard for me because I live alone and cooking for one, grocery shopping for one, and cooking for one, I've never learned how to do. So I think that's what was difficult for me, or that is what's difficult for me because I can't make big portions because then it just goes bad. But if I don't cook consistently enough, it just goes bad. It's a lose-lose situation and it pisses me off. But I need it to survive. So we're making it a hobby and we're gonna make it a habit. Okay, that's what I need. I don't really want to do it, but I need to do it. So and I need help. If someone can help me learn to cook, that would be great. Um, but yeah, those are two that are very big, very up on the list. And I feel like they're not, I just need to do them. I feel like they're not hard to like implement into my life. Um, but from there, I have so I have a list of hobbies that are kind of like more of on the creative side, and then I have other type of hobbies that I mean, I guess any hobby's kind of creative, but this one they're like more either technical base or like self-improvement base, whatever. Whatever, you get what I mean. So basically, I would think it would be really cool if I actually take the time to practice and study up on different languages. Technically, I'm supposed to be able to, I'm okay. Technically, I'm supposed to be fluent in Spanish. I'm not. So, why I say I should be fluent. I took it all throughout high school. I took it for 3 years in high school because you're supposed to take a language while you're in high school. But I also took it when I was in college. I actually got an AA degree in Spanish. But when I was in college, it was also during COVID, so I kind of cheated a little bit. But Um, regardless, I have the AA in Spanish and I can barely fucking speak it. So I think I need to actually like sit down and take the time and actually get good at it so I don't have an AA for nothing. Um, but it's also I feel like it'd be super cool to just be able to speak a language. But Spanish isn't the only language that I think would be cool to learn. There's three of them that I'm actually intrigued in, which Spanish, I think would be really cool to learn Mandarin, which I'm kind of scared of because I heard it's really hard. And then I think it would be cool to learn Korean. Um, both of those cultures I just been very interested in. I watch a lot of K dramas, a lot of C dramas. I listen to a lot of music and artists from those countries as well. So I feel like it'd be kind of nice to be able to watch a K drama or C drama and not have to have the subtitles going or just be able to understand what's happening without having to read it. Um, but regardless, I feel like it'd be really cool if I can teach my at least get good at one other language, but if I can learn to be good at multiple languages, that would be sick. Um, I'm gonna try to not put too much pressure on that one, but I also know consistency is key to learning languages, so we'll see. I think for that one, I'm going to start like learning it by myself. And if I come across a class, like you know how like sometimes they have like public classes or like you can find people to help you like learn. If I find one of those and I'm like I have the time and the money to do it, I'll do it. But I think with that one, I think I might just start by like YouTube and like they have a lot of language apps that I know are really good. I've used a couple. So basically, long story short, languages. I want to pick up a few languages if I can. Um, the next one on the list, this one's also kind of a need and a want. More of a need than a want, if I'm being honest, because it's going to take time and it's going to take effort. But I have a few ideas to kind of help motivate me to do this. Again, I'm interior designer. Um, I think it would be I need to work on my portfolio and I need to start working in CAD and SketchUp again, basically. Um, I was really good at it when I was in school, but I haven't touched it since I was in school because what I'm doing at my current job, I'm not one of the ones to work in the programs. Not saying that I'll never work in the programs, but just currently, I'm not. And I really am afraid of losing my skills. And if I were to ever apply to other jobs and get other interviews, those are the two most basic programs that you need. And I don't want to, again, I don't want to lose those skills. So I have a couple ideas on how I can like motivate myself to practice in them. And then in turn, the more I practice in it, the more I can like update my portfolio because the only portfolio I have is from school. And that's kind of, you need an update, you need to keep updated with your portfolio basically. Um, but yeah, I have a couple ideas on how to get myself motivated to do that. Part of the reason why I don't want to do that one is because I have to pay for the programs and they're kind of expensive depending on which ones you get. But again, that one's a need, and I have ideas to make it fun to eventually turn it into a want. So I'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. That one might take a while to get to because again, I don't want to pay for the programs and the programs are a couple $100. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Um, but yeah, those are some self-improvement ones. They're not even self-improvement ones. They're like technical and like learning based ones, I guess. Um, another one, reading. I used to be a reader, obviously. Um, I guess you can say I'm in a little reader slump, as they say. I don't even know if it qualifies as a slump anymore. It's been over a year since I've picked up a book, which is kind of sad. One of these days, I'll just force myself, and I won't be able to leave my house until I read a chapter. Usually, when you get started, it's not too bad. You just have to be lucky on the book, and the book has to be at least intriguing enough for you to continue. And then once you finish one book, you're kind of back into the cycle of reading. Mm, I just have to find that book. I'm kind of lazy right now, though, so maybe in a few weeks. Another one, oh, crocheting. I used to crochet a lot when okay, not a lot, but I used to crochet. Um, I think I stopped doing that hobby because it's just very time consuming. It's not very expensive, but it is time consuming. Like one little project can take hours and weeks. Like, I can make a bucket hat. It takes me like 5 hours, 6 hours. I used to I can make flowers that also took me like 6 hours. I made a dress once that took me like weeks. And so, like, I feel like it'd be fun. Maybe I'll pick up small things to make first and eventually just make a cardigan or something. I feel like you're not a true crocheter until you make a cardigan. So I'll work my way to that, maybe. It's also not like a mindless hobby. Like you actually have to think about it sometimes. So we'll see. It'd be kind of fun to pick it back up, but I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself to do it. Um, I want to get back into drawing. When I was like a kid, I was drawing all the time. And and then I picked it up a little bit when I was in college because I had to for some of my assignments. Um, but I don't know. I kind of miss drawing, but it's kind of hard to unlock that creative part of my brain sometimes because I just think too much, if I'm being honest. Half the reason why I don't draw is because I just don't know what I want to draw and I don't have inspiration to do so. I could always just look up online inspiration, like, they have like, oh, the daily, like, little doodles. So there's ideas that I can do to unlock it because I do miss drawing, but we'll see if I actually pick that one back up. I feel like it would be fun if I did because it does kind of go hand in hand with what I do for my job. Um, so we'll see. I'll try to pick it back up. I probably should pick it back up. Mm. Low-key, maybe I did like, too many options because I'm exhausted just even talking about it. Okay. Okay, so the next couple are kind of like things that I was very into when I was younger. And low-key, I still am really into them, but not as much as like when I was young, these were my go-to things that I was watching on YouTube basically, which is basically singing, dancing, and instruments. Um, I feel like I've always been surrounded by instruments. My dad used to roadie for a rock band when he was younger, so like he's always listening to music. He always had music playing. My sister always had music playing, but none of us actually can play an instrument, which I think is so silly to me. And it's also kind of silly because my dad has a whole drum set in his house and a bass guitar, and he had a guitar at one point. He doesn't know how to play them. And I'm like, why do we have these things? Neither of us can play them. There was one day I was like gonna try to teach myself how to play the drums, but they're very loud. So it kind of like intimidated me. So I never picked it up. Um, but I guess I'm also just like my dad because I have a piano. It's literally right underneath my couch right here. But I don't know how to play piano. So I have the piano, I have YouTube. There's ways to learn. So I'm going to try to convince myself to learn how to play the piano. I feel like that'd be a good thing to like start out with. And we'll see. Maybe I'll film myself trying to learn. But and just expect me to be able to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. That's it in the beginning. Um, so that's another one that I think would be fun to pick up. Singing, I'm always singing if I'm being honest. I'm like it's a mindless thing for me. I always have like 5 songs playing in my head at once and I'm always singing one of them out loud. Um, I also, when I was in elementary school and middle school, I was in choir and I genuinely enjoyed it. I stopped doing it when I was in high school because I picked up sports and it was kind of hard to do both because there's always something conflicting and after school and stuff. Um, but singing was never one that I stopped doing. It's just one that I stopped learning, like actively learning how to do. It's just something that I do naturally. So I feel like it'd be fun to actually kind of like sit down and see how far I can take that. Um, I don't know. Maybe post like a cover or something. We'll see. I'm not like I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to do all these things, but I feel like it'd be really fun to do these things. So I want to at least try them. Dancing is like low key one that I've never like even imagined doing. But that's usually when I was younger, that's all I used to watch on YouTube was like the Millennium Dance Studio or like Playground or even like the 1 million, what is it? 1 million dance studio in Korea. I was always watching dancing videos. I used to watch The World of Dance, So You Think You Can Dance. Like, I've always been such a fan of it, but I never did anything to do it, never did anything to learn it, to do it. But I'm like, I can probably name dancers and like, I used to follow all of them on like social medias and stuff. So I'm like, bro, like, you liked it so much, but you never even attempted it. So why not attempt it? I feel like it's kind of, everyone's kind of scared to do it. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's always like a big stigma of like, trying new things and like especially dancing when you're an adult because like a lot of it's a very like people as kids do it and then they grow up doing it. No one starts it when they're adults. But I feel like that's not true. I feel like there's a lot of adults that are starting it now. I want to be one of them. Well, hopefully, if I like it, I'll continue. If I don't, I'll stop. But I'm also at the same time, I'm only 24, so why wouldn't I try it? I'm still very young. Um, so we'll see. I feel like that's a fun one, but that's also very intimidating at the same time. Um, but yeah, I need to find hobbies that are going to make me more social. I'm naturally a very social person. I'm very extroverted, but currently I am down to like three friends. So I kind of need to learn to make more. And that's low key the hardest thing to do in your adult life because most people already have their core friendship right now, especially in your 20s. They already have their like friends right now. And I need to find my own friends. So I only have again three. Um, I mean, I guess some of these can be social hobbies, like dancing, obviously, because you're going to be at a fucking studio. Um, Reading, I could join a book club. I just don't know where to find them. Um, like I can make a lot of these social, but low key, I have no clue how else. I need to find social hobbies, and I have no clue where to find them and how to find them. So we'll see. Hopefully, they just like magically fall into my lap because that would be life so much easier. But never happens. Um, but yeah, that was a very long explanation but also very short explanation of what I've been thinking about all weekend and things that I'm trying to hold myself accountable to, which hopefully this video will do so. So hopefully in the next month, couple months to a year, I will have at least tried all of these once. I should at least try them once, but I feel like I should at least try them three times because the first time is always going to be like I'm going to be very uncomfortable doing it. If I try it three times, then I feel like that would be a better gauge of like whether I like it or not. But yeah, I guess that's it for my second video diary. This one was low-key a little bit easier to make than the first one. I was not as nervous. So that just means that it's going to get easier with each one. I hope with each one I'll be able to show a little bit more of my personality too. I feel like this one better than the last, but still it's kind of hard when you're just talking about things that you want to do. Hopefully in the future I can actually have some funny ones up in here. Because sometimes I'm funny, sometimes I'm not. It really depends on who you are. But yeah, I guess that's it for this one. Oh, also, six people watched my last video diary video. I don't know if you guys watched it all the way through, but that kind of threw me off because I only posted it 3 days ago, and I was like, "There's six people watching this," and like, I know I posted this on a public thing, but I was not ready for people to watch it. I was Loki was like hoping that people wouldn't start watching these ones until I had a couple videos going, so they had multiple videos to watch. So it kind of like threw me off a little bit. But I'm like, hey, hey, how y'all doing? But yeah, it kind of just threw me off. I'm not opposed to it because obviously I posted this on a public thingy, but just was not ready to see six people. It's only been 3 days. That's crazy. But yeah, that's all for now. See you in the next one.